Welcome to this week's episode of the Modern Mentor Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Cooke. And if you've ever felt like you just wished you had a coach to help you figure out how to move your career forward, then today's your lucky day. Because today we're talking about how to be your own coach. I started my business in 2015 knowing I'd need to channel confidence and optimism on the regular. But each time I attempted to do so, I seemed to summon self-doubt and presumptions of failure. I guess manifesting hope is not a natural talent for me. If you'd asked me then what I needed, I would have listed knowledge, templates for success, a dozen clients on a silver platter. You get the idea. But in hindsight, while those would have been awesome, what I needed most was some coaching. Not having a coach at that time, I went down the rabbit hole of books and podcasts on personal and professional development. I ended up, in a messy, ugly sort of way, accidentally coaching myself to the place I'm in now. I wish I'd been more intentional about it, but at the time, I didn't realize I had become my own coach. So I'm here to help you get into the self-coaching groove without some of that mess. Why should you become your own coach? Coaching can help you move forward, jump over hurdles, and achieve big things. But a coach may not be accessible to everyone. It certainly wasn't to me. Coaching takes time, and a good coach costs money. Both can be hard to come by. So if you're wishing for some coaching but don't have the access right now, let's talk about how you can show up for yourself by using some tricks of the coaching trade. Start by stating a goal. A great coach can help you achieve outcomes in many domains of your life. But early focus is key to success. In my business, I wanted it all done on day one. Press, clients, revenue, a quick understanding of marketing, all those essentials. But I took myself through an exercise, and by answering some questions, I was able to identify and focus on what I needed most urgently. And through this exercise, I cut out the noise and determined that my nearest term goal was to just land my first client within 60 days. Boom. No press, no marketing, no business development engine, just one client. This clarity helped me direct all of my energy and focus towards this one outcome. I knew achieving it would help fuel my path to the next goal. So now it's your turn. Are you looking for a promotion? Let's get more specific than that. Your coach might start with some questions like, what's the right timeline? Is it as soon as possible? In the next 6 to 12 months? When will you feel ready? Is it a specific role, or are you just looking to get to the next level? Will the new role necessarily be in your current company? Will you lead a team? By answering some questions, you can get from a vague get promoted to a specific get promoted to senior marketing manager in 6 months. So here's your first assignment. Determine what you need to ask and answer in order to clearly see your immediate goalpost. Next, a coach would help sharpen your why. Once you've identified a clear outcome, a coach will pressure test it. You want to be sure the outcome you've identified will deliver the experience you're really looking for. A promotion is a perfectly reasonable goal, as long as it's for the right reasons. A coach might ask questions like, why does that promotion feel important to you? How clearly do you understand what that bigger job will entail? What will getting that job cost you? Longer hours, more travel, eventually? When you imagine having the job, do you imagine the recognition and satisfaction of getting the job, or is it actually doing the job that excites you? If it's the recognition you're seeking, are there other ways you might achieve that feeling? By sharpening your why, you may reveal the need to choose a different goal or outcome, and that's totally okay. You don't want to chase down that promotion only to realize it's not actually what you wanted. A coach will help you check yourself before you start down a path. I wanted to stand on my own, to choose my projects, to own my sense of impact, and to not feel beholden to any company ever again. So ask yourself a series of questions to ensure that you're paving the right path for you. Next, a coach would bring in a framework. Part of the value a coach brings is the set of tools they carry in their toolbox. Today, I'd like to loan you one of mine. It's a simple framework designed to build the roadmap to deliver you at your goal. I use the CREATE framework developed by David Rock, founder of the Neuro Leadership Institute. It's simple and clear, and you can drive it without a license. The framework is comprised of 3 parts: CR represents your current reality. EA is about exploring alternatives. TE tells you to tap your energy. So now, with clarity around what you're striving for and why, take yourself on a quick journey through this framework. Define your current reality. Be factual and objective. This means making observations like, I've been in this role for 3 years and am ready to expand my skills. It is not stating things like, I'm stuck in this job and no one sees me as ready for growth. See the difference? Stick with the facts. Next, explore your alternatives. What paths could you possibly take? You might apply for a promotion. You could tap your network to see what other opportunities are out there. You might take a course. Or maybe you'll make a lateral move to help expand your breadth of experience. Think broadly. Don't just limit yourself to the most obvious next step. And finally, tap your energy. Once you've identified all of your alternatives, just sit with them. Imagine yourself walking toward each, and then note which inspires you most. That becomes your first action. My energy went into calling 10 friends or colleagues each day, letting them know of my new business and asking if I could be of service. Let your energy determine which path you pursue. Choose one and commit to it. Next, a coach would drive accountability. One of the greatest gifts a coach can offer is accountability. They'll help you identify their next steps, and they will track you down to make sure you've taken them. So here, I urge you to find other means of creating accountability for yourself. How can you make your action plan feel mandatory? Here are some strategies to consider. Maybe you schedule it. For some, once it's on the calendar, it's as good as written in stone. Determine what action you need to take and on what timeline, and book it. Then protect that time like you mean it. Maybe you find an accountability buddy. If you're looking to make a change, I'm willing to bet you have a friend or colleague who is as well. So do some outreach and find someone looking to create their own accountability. Partner up and keep each other on track. Maybe you check in with each other on a weekly basis. You don't want to tell your buddy you didn't make it happen, so you're more likely to do the thing before each check-in. Finally, you might attach a treat. Some people only allow themselves to watch the next episode of their favorite show while they're on the treadmill. What's your equivalent of this? In the kindest way possible, withhold something from yourself, a show, a nap, a chat with a friend, until you've taken the action you promised yourself you would take. And finally, show empathy. A great coach will deliver tough love, but with a heavy dose of empathy. True coaching is delivered with kindness, and you need to show that kindness to yourself. This doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook when you don't do the thing, but it does mean recognizing what might be hard for you and why. If you know you need to ask for a reference but you're feeling intimidated, don't beat yourself up. You're not weak or passive, you're thoughtful and intentional. If you hear your inner voice start to beat you up, immediately bring your coaching voice to the table to remind that inner beast just how hard you're working. Whatever change you're striving to make, I'm confident you have it within you to coach yourself to that finish line. I can't wait to hear about what you achieve this year. Have a question I can answer? Check out all the links in my bio for ways to reach me. You can visit my website at leadabovenoise.com or follow me on the Modern Mentor podcast page on LinkedIn, where I share exclusive tips, videos, and musings. Join me next week for an episode on what to do if your career is feeling stalled. Until then, thanks so much for listening and have a successful week.